Hello everybody, and welcome back to You Got 5 Minutes. This is Ian Livingstone's The Forest of Doom, a video game version of his Fighting Fantasy books, one of his Fighting Fantasy books. If you don't know what Fighting Fantasy is, it's like a choose-your-own-adventure thing where you'll get like a wall of text, and then after it, you've got to decide what you want to do, and whatever you decide, it'll say at the bottom, go to this page, or go to this page, or like I'll give you page options to go to. So it's like an adventure book. It's like an adventure, but it's a book. So you can read through the book, but reading through it like from left to right and all in one big go is just stupid, because you've got to play it as if it was a game. You've got dice rolls, you've got all this sort of stuff. Like you have yourself a couple of dice with you. You'll get into combat and you've got to roll your dice, and if you win you go to this page and all that sort of, all that sort of stuff. Like you lockpick this chest, if you successfully lockpick it, go to this page, yeah, so I'm going to have a wee shot at this, because I love the choose your own adventure sort of Fighting Fantasy style things. So let's go for it, eh? I think it's a mouse game, so let's just jump in. The Forest of Doom is a fighting fantasy gamebook and interactive adventure which you are the hero. You can only win by choosing the correct path, finding equipment, avoiding traps, and surviving combat. Before embarking on your adventure, you must determine your own strengths and weaknesses with a series of dice rolls. You have in your possession a sword, some leather armor, and a backpack containing provisions, food, and drink. For the trip, you have been preparing for your quest by training yourself in swordplay and... click then. There you go. Exercising vigorously to build up your stamina. That doesn't sound like me at all. You must first choose from one of the 3 difficulty settings. This gamebook has been designed for optimum challenge on the Adventurer difficulty mode. For newcomers to Fighting Fantasy, we recommend Adventurer or Free Read modes. For older readers already familiar with printed versions of this gamebook, we recommend Hardcore Hero mode. Please note that the ending of the Forest of Doom has been changed in Hardcore Hero mode to make it harder. So, what's this? You have chosen the Adventurer difficulty mode. Here's the tutorial thingy majiggy. Okay, Adventure, but if your stamina falls to 0, you die and your adventure is over. If your stamina is getting low, remember to eat some of your provisions. Roll your stamina starting stamina. Yes! Your roll of a 9 plus a base of 12 means your stamina is 21, that's massive! Okay, now determine your skill. Your skill reflects your swordsmanship and general fighting expertise. Like, okay, let's roll the skill. We got 4. Ah well. That's fine. Next, determine your luck. Luck indicates a natural luck, a person you are, luck and magic, facts of life, blah 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 blah. Let's roll. That was really good. Whee! Next, you must choose a potion to take with you. In addition to your other starting equipment, you would take a bottle of one bottle of a magical potion, which will aid you in your quest. You may choose to take a bottle of any of the following: a potion of skill, restores skill points; potion of strength, restores stamina; potion of fortune, gives you luck and adds 1 to your initial luck. These potions have been may be taken at any time during your adventure except when engaged in battle. Taking a measure of potion, blah 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 blah. Once you've selected a potion, you may begin. May the luck of the gods be with you ahead. Ooh. Right, so I've got to go back and choose a potion. So, I will go for the luck potion. Yes. Begin. You are an adventurer, sought for hire, and have been roaming in the northern borderlands of your kingdom. Having always spurned the dullness of village life, you now wander the lands in search of wealth and danger despite the long walks and rough outdoor life. You are content with your unknown destiny. The world holds no fears for you as long as you are a skillful warrior, well practiced in the art of slaying evil men and beasts, with your trusty sword. Not once during the last 10 days since entering the northern borderlands have you set eyes upon another person. This does not worry you at all, as you are happy with your own company and enjoy the slow sunny days, hunting, eating, and sleeping. It is evening, and having feasted on dinner of rabbit spit roasted on an open fire, you settle down and sleep beneath your sheepskin blanket. There is a full moon, and the light sparkles in the blade of your broadsword, skewered into the ground by your side. You gaze at it, wondering when you will next have to wipe the blood of some vile creature with sharp edge. These are strange lands inhabited by a weird, loathsome beasts, goblins, trolls, and even dragons. As the flame of your campfire gently dies, you begin to drift asleep, and images of screaming, green-faced trolls flicker through your mind. Suddenly, in the bushes to your left, you hear a loud crack of a twig breaking under a clumsy foot. You leap up and grab your sword from the ground. You stand motionless but alert, ready to pounce on your unseen adversary. Then you hear a groan, followed by the dull thud of a body falling to the ground. Is it a trap? Slowly you walk over to the bush where the noise is coming from. You carefully pull back the branches. You look down to see a little old man with a great bushy beard, his face contorted with pain. You crouch down to remove the iron helmet covering his balding head and notice 2 crossbow bolts protruding from the stomach of his plump, chainmail-clad torso. Picking him up, you carry him over to the fire and stir the dying embers into life. After covering him with their sheepskin blanket, you manage to get the old man to drink a little water. He coughs and moans. He sits up, rigid, eyes staring fixedly ahead. Starts to shout, "I'll get them! I'll get them! Don't you feel, Gillibrand? Big Leg is coming to bring you a hammer! Oh yes, indeed I am! Oh yes!" The dwarf, whose name you presume to be Big Leg, is obviously delirious from the poison-tipped bolts lodged in his stomach. You watch as he slumps down again to the ground, and then whisper his name in his ear. His eyes stare unblinking at you, as he again starts to shout, "Ambush! Look out! Ambush! Ah, the hammer! Take the hammer to the Gillibrand and save the dwarves!" His eyes half close, and the pain seems to ease a little, and as the delirium subsides, he speaks to you again in a low whisper. "Help us, friend! Take the hammer to Gillibrand. Only the hammer will unite our people against the trolls. We were on our way to Dartwood in search of the hammer, ambushed by the little people. Others killed. The map in my pouch will take you to the home of Yaztromo, the master mage of these parts. He has great magics for sale to protect you against creatures of the Darkwood. Take my gold, I beg you. Find the hammer and take it to Gillibrand, my lord of Stonebridge. You'll be very well rewarded." Big Leg opens his mouth to start another sentence, but nothing comes out except his last dying breath. You sit down and ponder Big Leg's words. Who is Gillibrand? Who is Yaztromo? What is all the fuss about the dwarvish hammer? You reach over to the still body of Big Leg and remove the pouch from the leather belt and around his waist. Inside you find 30 gold pieces and a map. Hey, you got a map. Jingling the coins in your hand, you think of the possible rewards which may await you just for returning a hammer to the village of the dwarves. You decide to try and find the hammer in the Darkwood Forest. It's been a few weeks since your last good battle, and what is more, you are likely to be well paid for this one. With your hammer in mind, with your mind made up, you settle down to sleep, having taken back the sheepskin blanket from the poor Big Leg. And in the morning, you bury the old dwarf and gather up your possessions. You examine the map and look up to the sun and find your bearings, whistling merrily. You head off to the south at a good pace, eager to meet this man Yaztromo and see what he has to offer. And turn over. Your walk to Yaztromo's takes a little over half a day, and you arrive at his stone tower, thirsty, dirty and hungry, as the tower is set back at the edges of the Darkwood, some 50 meters from the path you have been following. It is difficult to find. Finally, you walk up to the huge oak door, somewhat relieved to find that it does exist, and that Big Leg had not been speaking wildly in his delirium. A large brass bell and gong hang from the stone archway. As you ring the bell, a shiver runs down your spine, and you realize that the loud bong, smoking some bong, invades a deep silence which you had not noticed before. There are no sounds of birds or animals to be heard. You wait anxiously at the door, and you hear a slow footsteps descending the stairs from the tower above. A small wooden slot in the door slides open, and 2 eyes appear examine you. "Well, who are you?" demands a grumpy voice. Through the hole, you answer that you are an adventurer in search for the master mage Yaztromo, intending to purchase magical items from him to combat the creatures of Darkwood Forest. Oh, well, in that case, if you are interested in buying some of my merchandise, you had better come up. I am Yatsromo. He then turns and slowly climbs the stone stairs. Will you follow him up the stairs, turn to 261, or draw your sword and attack him, turn to page 54? Well, he's a total powerful mage, isn't he? Like, if I attack him, he's going to totally kill me. So, like, we'll follow him up the stairs. Oh man, there's so much pages to read. There's so much pages to read, and it's already 10 minutes, guys. I'm sorry. I was hoping to show you a little bit of the combat in that, but this is just it's just too. You know what? Let's see if I can go back. Can I go back? I can't go back. Ah! I should have pulled out like the total sword and like attacked him to show you like some of the. Go back. You sure want to go back a step? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Maybe he'll kill me, maybe he won't. As you draw your sword, Yatsromo turns around and casually advises you not to be foolish as his magic is great. If you still want to attack him, turn to 399. If you change your mind and decide to follow up the stairs, turn to 261. You charge Yatsromo, but only reach the first stair when he lifts his right arm and nonchalantly mumbles a few words. Time seems to stand still amid bright flashes and your body feels like a bubbling liquid inside. When the turmoil subsides, you know something terrible has happened. The stone stair feels cold on your body and you realize the problems of life as a frog. Yatsromo bends down and picks you up, saying with a booming voice, "Well, foolish warrior, enjoy your new life." With that, he lets out a deafening laugh and nearly drops you. Then he shuffles to the oak door and, opening it, throws you into the grasses outside. Your adventurer ends here. The end. There wasn't even any combat there. Sorry guys, like there's an actual system in the game where if you're having combat and that, you do dice rolls and things. You can pick up items from dead enemies and all that. It's just that, you know, obviously with it being a book, the setup to the actual game is going to take a little while to get through. So I hope it was at least entertaining for you though, because I was doing like all the narration and all that. But yeah. If this game piques your interest, it's actually quite cheap on Steam actually. I think it's only like £5 or something like that. So if the game piques your interest and this kind of thing like piques my interest at least, I liked playing the Warlock of Firetop Mountain and all that on the PSP version of the game, you know. But yeah, so if it piques your interest, I'll put a link in the description for you. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye! Turn into a frog.